Whenever someone mentions bucket list trips, I always think Victoria Falls. It's just one of those things everyone wants to see for themselves.
Yeah.
So I have to say, when this stack of articles about Zimbabwe's tourism boom landed on my desk, it really piqued my interest.
Yeah, it's interesting because Zimbabwe has really started to use its natural beauty, like Victoria Falls, to kind of bounce back in terms of tourism.
Right.
The country has incredible wildlife, a really rich cultural heritage, those ancient ruins we've all seen pictures of.
Yeah.
But it's also had a tough time economically.
Right.
So to see this kind of turnaround is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's really a comeback story, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And the numbers tell the tale. A 22% jump in tourism revenue in 2023 to the tune of $1.1 billion.
Wow.
That's incredible. It's not just a blip on the radar, it's a whole trend.
Yeah.
And with 1.6 million tourists from around the world, it seems like word is getting out.
Yeah.
What's driving this growth?
Well, it's a few things working together, but I think it's clear that Zimbabwe wants to be a top tourist destination, and it's taking steps to make that happen.
Okay.
Streamlining visas, putting money into infrastructure, and really making conservation a priority.
Right.
They seem to be dedicated to protecting what makes Zimbabwe special.
It seems like they're really making a concerted effort.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's talk about those attractions, because I, for one, am hooked. You mentioned Victoria Falls. For those of us who haven't been lucky enough to experience it, paint us a picture. What's it like to visit?
Okay, imagine standing in front of this massive wall of water, so big that the mist rising from it can be seen for miles. That's Victoria Falls.
Amazing.
And the best part is that Zimbabwe gives you a front row seat to the action. You can get so close, you can feel the power, hear that roar. It's amazing.
Wow.
But it's not just about the views. People who love adventure can bungee jump, go whitewater rafting, even swim in Devil's Pool.
Devil's Pool.
Yeah, it's this naturally formed infinity pool right on the edge of the falls.
Oh, wow. That sounds incredible. But you're right, Zimbabwe is more than just Victoria Falls. So for the safari enthusiast out there, what does Zimbabwe offer?
Well, there's Hwang National Park. It's Zimbabwe's largest park, and you could say it's the wildest.
Really?
Just imagine being in an open jeep, the sun on your face, surrounded by the sounds of the African bush elephants trumpeting, birds singing, maybe even a lion roaring in the distance.
Like stepping into a nature documentary.
It really is. Hwang has a huge elephant population, one of the biggest in Africa.
Wow.
So you're almost guaranteed to see these amazing creatures up close. But there's something else that makes Hwang special. It's one of the few places you can track endangered African wild dogs with experienced guides.
Endangered wild dogs.
Yes.
Wow, that's incredible. What are the chances of seeing one?
Well, they're elusive, but the guides are good. It's a really unique experience.
Yeah.
And you mentioned lions earlier.
Right, of course.
Well, Hwang has a very healthy lion population, too, so there's a really good chance you'll catch a glimpse of them.
Wow.
Can you imagine it? Seeing a pride of lions relaxing in the shade, or maybe stalking their prey in the evening light?
It must be incredible to witness their power in the wild.
Oh, absolutely. It's a spectacle you won't forget. And Hwang isn't just about the big animals either. There are giraffes gracefully eating from the trees, zebras running across the plains, and so many different kinds of birds.
You're really selling me on this.
It's an amazing place.
Okay, with all this amazing nature, I'm curious about the people. You mentioned Zimbabwe's dedication to sustainable tourism. What does that look like in terms of helping local communities?
That's a really important question, and it gets to the heart of what makes Zimbabwe's approach to tourism special. They're moving away from the old way of doing things where communities are often left out. Instead, they're making local involvement a key part of their tourism.
Okay, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, take the Lupane Women's Center, for example. It's not too far from Hwang. The women there create these beautiful baskets, pottery, and jewelry.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah, they're keeping those traditional crafts alive and making money for their families at the same time.
That's fantastic.
And these crafts are then sold at lodges and shops that tourists visit, so it creates a sustainable way for them to support themselves.
I love that. It's about empowering people, not just handing out money.
Exactly.
Travelers want to know they're making a difference, and supporting local artists like that really resonates.
It definitely adds another layer to the travel experience, for sure.
Absolutely. And it's about forging connections.
Right, connecting with the people and their way of life. And this commitment to community goes beyond crafts. Lots of lodges and tour operators now make a point of hiring local guides, chefs, staff, making sure that tourism dollars go straight back into those communities.
That's how it should be.
It creates a sense of ownership and understanding between visitors and locals, which is beneficial for everyone.
It's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Travelers get richer experiences and communities benefit.
Exactly.
This sustainable approach is definitely something to be applauded. So we've got breathtaking landscapes, incredible wildlife, a commitment to the local community. What about accommodation? What kind of places can travelers expect to find in Zimbabwe?
You know, one thing that's really cool about Zimbabwe is the variety of places to stay.
Okay.
They have those super luxurious safari lodges, but also charming guest houses for people who want something a little easier on the wallet.
Right.
And everything in between, really.
I like that. Something for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about the high-end options first, though.
Okay, let's indulge a little.
Some of these places sound absolutely incredible.
All right, I'm ready. Give me the fantasy. Luxurious safari lodges. What are we talking about here?
Think private plunge pools,
Okay.
overlooking watering holes where animals gather, gourmet meals under the stars, and service that anticipates your every need. It's the real deal.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Any places in particular come to mind?
One that stands out is Singita Pamushana Lodge.
Singita Pamashana Lodge. Okay.
It's on a private reserve in southeastern Zimbabwe.
A private reserve.
Yeah, very exclusive.
That sounds right up my alley. Tell me more. What's so special about it?
Well, Singita Pamushana is all about being elegant, but in a way that blends in with nature.
Okay.
The suites use natural materials, have huge decks, and the views of the Malangwi Wildlife Reserve are breathtaking.
Did you say Malangwi Wildlife Reserve?
Yes, Malangwi, it's known for its successful conservation programs.
What kind of programs?
Well, they've done amazing work with the black rhino population there.
No way. Really?
Yeah. And guests at Singita Pamushana can actually track these rhinos on foot with guides.
Oh, wow. To see a black rhino in the wild like that.
Up close and personal, it's incredible.
That's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It sounds like this place is more than just a fancy hotel. It's a chance to really connect with nature on a deeper level.
Absolutely. It's about conservation and experiencing something truly special.
Wow. Okay, so we've got Singita Pamushana, but we can't talk about luxury in Zimbabwe without mentioning the Victoria Falls Hotel. It's iconic, right?
It really is. It's like stepping back in time to the golden age of travel, but with all the modern comforts you could want.
I'm guessing the views are pretty spectacular.
Oh, the best. It's right there by the falls, so you can just imagine.
Wow, what a place. But let's switch gears for a minute and talk about travelers who are maybe on a tighter budget. What about those more affordable options you mentioned?
Right. So Zimbabwe actually has a surprising amount of guest houses and smaller lodges that are really comfortable and full of character but won't break the bank.
Okay, that's good to know.
A lot of them are family run, so you get a much more personal experience, often with chances to chat with locals and really get a feel for Zimbabwean culture.
I love that. Making it accessible for everyone is so important.
Right. Not everyone can afford to travel luxuriously, but that shouldn't stop them from experiencing this amazing country.
Exactly.
And hey, there's always camping for the true adventurers out there.
Right. Sleeping under the stars, waking up to the sounds of the African bush. It doesn't get much better than that.
You can't beat it.
All right, so you've sold me. Zimbabwe has it all, from luxury to budget-friendly. Now, let's circle back to something you mentioned earlier, those visa regulations. Which countries get to enjoy visa-free travel to Zimbabwe?
Well, Zimbabwe has been working really hard to make it easier for people to visit. Citizens from a lot of countries, especially those in the SADC region like South Africa, Botswana, and Namibia, can enter without a visa.
So it's pretty easy for people to travel around Southern Africa then?
Exactly. And they've also made it easier for people from Europe, North America, and even parts of Asia.
Wow, okay.
But it's always a good idea to double-check the specific requirements, just in case, because those visa rules can change.
Oh, for sure. Always good advice. So we've covered the wildlife, the accommodations, how easy it is to get there, but what about those ancient ruins you mentioned earlier? They're really piquing my curiosity.
Oh, they're amazing. We're talking about the Great Zimbabwe Ruins.
Okay.
They're a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and they are truly something to see.
What's so special about them?
Imagine walking through the remains of a city built entirely of stone.
Wow, a whole city.
Yeah, it's a testament to the skill of the Shona people who lived there hundreds of years ago. Their architectural skills were incredible.
A city made of stone, that's unbelievable. What kind of structures are we talking about?
Well, the most famous one is the Great Enclosure. It has these massive walls that seem to defy gravity.
Wow.
They built it all without any mortar, just dry stone. And to this day, people still debate its exact purpose. Was it a palace? A religious center? It's a mystery, which makes it even more fascinating to explore.
It's like stepping back in time, trying to piece together the puzzle of the past.
Exactly.
You know, I always pictured Zimbabwe as a safari destination, but there's so much more to it. Now you're telling me about ancient cities?
Oh, there's more.
Really?
How about some ancient rock art?
Wait, seriously? Like cave paintings and
Ooh,
things?
yeah, like cave paintings.
Wow, amazing. Where can you find them?
In the Matobo Hills.
Yeah,
Just picture it. You're hiking through these hills, and there are these massive granite boulders everywhere.
I've seen pictures. They're amazing.
Yeah, they look like they were put there by giants just balanced on top of each other, and then tucked away in a cave, or maybe under a rocky overhang, you find these ancient paintings.
No way.
Yeah, they were left there thousands of years ago by the Sand People.
That's incredible. It's like holding a piece of history in your hands. What kind of things did they paint?
Well, the paintings give us a glimpse into what their lives were like. The San were hunter-gatherers, so you see animals they would have hunted.
Okay.
And then there are scenes of dances and rituals, even mythical creatures.
Wow.
It's like looking into their spiritual world. Fascinating stuff.
The Matobo Hills are definitely going on my list. Okay, so we've covered ancient ruins, rock art. Zimbabwe is full of surprises. Is there anything else our listeners should know about?
Well, we talked about Hwang and its wide open spaces, but there's another park you should know about. Manipools.
Manipools. Okay.
It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Oh, of course it is. It's Zimbabwe.
And it's a haven for wildlife, especially during the dry season when animals congregate around the Zambezi River.
The Zambezi. I'm picturing hippos and crocodiles. Am I right?
100%. Manipools is known for its wildlife viewing and also for its unique safari experiences. You can go on walking safaris there, get up close and personal with the animals, elephants, lions, all of them.
On foot. That's intense.
It's definitely a thrill. Imagine yourself tracking lions through the bush with a guide.
Wow.
Or coming face to face with a herd of elephants.
That would be amazing and terrifying.
A little bit of both, probably. But Manipools also offer something a bit more relaxing, canoeing safaris. Imagine gliding silently down the Zambezi, spotting wildlife on the banks as you go.
That sounds incredible. What an experience.
It's a totally different way to experience the African wilderness.
This has been amazing. You've really painted a picture of Zimbabwe for us. So as we wrap up, what's the key takeaway you want our listeners to remember about Zimbabwe's tourism?
Zimbabwe is a country that's coming back stronger than ever, and it's ready to share its treasures with the world.
I like it.
It's a place where you can experience incredible natural wonders and also connect with a vibrant culture
Absolutely.
where sustainability is at the heart of everything, and most importantly, where you're welcomed with open arms. It's a place that will stay with you, I can tell you that.
Well said. I think it's a good reminder that there are so many amazing places out there just waiting to be explored.
The best ones are.
So to all our listeners, if you're looking for an adventure, for a trip that will stay with you forever, put Zimbabwe on your list. You won't regret it. And that's it for this deep dive. Keep exploring, and we'll see you next time.